Okay, good morning, everybody, and welcome to our introduction to A-level design and technology product design at the Girls' School. I hope you're all keeping well, and I seem to have a massive list of people who want to do design and tech this year, which is fantastic. It looks like we're going to have a full group of maybe 19 or even 20 students by the time we've got outside students joining us. So it's going to be quite competitive right from the start when you join us in September, however it is when we start in September. And you know, you're going to have to keep on top of the work, because there's going to be very little time for me to chase you around if you're not actually willingly engaging. So just a little word of warning there: with such a big group, you really are going to have to work independently, and everything you achieve really is going to be a reflection of you and your attitude to work and your work ethic, rather than how good I am as a teacher at chasing you and encouraging you to do some work. Anyway, notwithstanding that, welcome to Design Technology. It says here a cunning combination of graphic products and product design and resistant materials. So basically, you know, we're not going to be stuck in the graphics room. We're not going to be stuck in the workshop. We're going to try and expand your skills. Graphic people will have to understand and learn workshop skills, and workshop people will have to understand and learn the graphic products. But it will turn you into more rounded, fuller, hopefully, young designers. The course is 9 hours every 2 weeks in year 12, and I will be delivering those 9 hours. And in year 13, it's 9 hours every 2 weeks, and Mr. Williams will be delivering the year 13 work. The kind of work that we're going to be doing, I've got a little script here. In year 12, basically, I try to build your skills up at the beginning of the course. So we will go over some sketching, presentation skills, some computer skills. And as we move into a mini NEA project, you'll start to apply those skills, and also we'll move into the workshop. As you start to make your products, I'll help you and teach you on probably a one-to-one type basis in the workshop as we're developing some of your workshop skills. So some of the time in year 12 is skill development. Then we move into a small project, which is kind of like a taster of your year 13 NEA. We do a second project where I split you up into teams, and we start to see how you work in a team with a team dynamic. And all of the work that you do in year 12 will combine. It doesn't actually go toward any grade of your course, but I will use all the work that you do in year 12 for me to write my UCAS report for you. And the UCAS reports, I'm writing them now for the current year 12. So it's not based on any coursework that you do in year 13. It will be based on everything that you achieve in year 12. Also in year 12, we'll be doing some theory. 1 hour a week is theory, either with me setting you notes to go away and do. Then I'll ask you to bring those notes back to me so I can check how thoroughly you're making your notes. And we may well have a weekly test based on the topic that you may have produced the notes on the previous week. So 1 hour a week is theory. The rest of the hours are skill-based and workshop-based. We have a book for you to use in year 12 and 13. Okay, this is the book that you'll be using in school, your textbook. It covers everything that you need to know, and we'll lend this to you, but we'll need it back at the end of year 13. So look after the books and return them at the end of the course. You may wish to get, in addition, okay, there's a complimentary book. This is a revision guide that goes along with the textbook. This is kind of like cut down information, but sometimes that's easier to absorb when you're revising. And obviously, if you own this book, you can highlight it, you can do whatever you want to this book, whilst keeping your school book nice and clean. Okay, so there are the couple of books that we might be using on the course. Now, choice of pathways on this course. When you move into year 13, your project you work on, you can tailor it and bend it into your strength or your interest area. So if you're interested in going into architecture, you might end up designing something to do with the built environment. If you're interested in going into like pure 3D product design, you could design a product that's meant to achieve a certain task. It could be fully working, or it can be a model of a product. Or if you're more graphic based, you could do a marketing branding type project, but it will still need a product to go along with it, a product on the inside of the packaging, for argument's sake. Okay, but you can tailor this course to play to your strengths, play to your interests, and play to maybe what kind of degree course you're hoping to go on at the end of year 13. Okay, but it's nice and broad, and everybody should be able to find something that appeals to them. Here's a few examples. Okay, so we've got everything here from branding, packaging, architectural modeling, 3D products, functional products. These are the kind of things that you might be producing certainly in year 12 and similarly in year 13. Okay. Course breakdown. So 50% is an exam at the end of the course, and 50% is based on your NEA in year 13. And there's 2 exam papers for your exam. One of them is 2.5 hours. The other one is a 1.5 hour exam paper. Hopefully, we'll be doing mock exams in year 12, again, mock exams in year 13, and then your final exam at the end of year 13. But that's the basic breakdown of the course. Oh, this slide is just talking about iterative design, which is a big thing on this course now. This is what the examiners are looking for. So this is really just a fancy word for designing, testing, reviewing, redesigning, modeling, improving, and taking your work through a number of iterative stages till you end up with a final product, which hopefully is more refined, is better than the original concept, as you've had feedback from your clients or as you've tested it with the facilities that we have in school. Just trying to make your work better and better and better. Okay, so iterative design, I think the next slide is kind of like showing iterative design for packaging as well. This also goes into 3D modeling. Okay, so 3D modeling to develop your design until your basic concept actually works and it becomes a viable solution that we can manufacture in school and to a really high quality. Okay, so, I've already said about this really. 1 hour a week on theory, 2 hours a week on core skills and design tasks, and 1 hour a week maybe on manufacturing, something like that. Okay, the big bit down the bottom here. Okay, to succeed at this in any meaningful way, you do need to put work into the subject outside of lesson. Okay, 5 hours a week outside of school, and 4 or 5 hours a week inside of school. All right, so students that achieve at the top level will be applying this level of work outside of school on these studies. All right, if I'm not setting you 5 hours of work each week, you should be going out and expanding your knowledge, expanding your experience, watching appropriate things on YouTube, and just expanding as a young designer, and not just staying static. Remember, again, at the end of year 12, you've got to write your UCAS reference. You need to tell me what you've been up to outside of school, maybe what exhibitions you've been going to, what work experience you've gained whilst you've been in year 12. And that is all part of this independent study. Signing on to online courses, okay? That's all part of this independent study, which will develop you as a young designer. Okay, so bridging tasks. This is what you need to be doing for me over the summer break. First thing it says, an A3 graphic timeline to show the history of art, design, science and technology over the past century and the influences it has on today's society. Okay, your timeline, create your timeline on, If you were in school, we would have done this in lesson time, but we're not in school. But this is the title of what you need to do. And when you read my pack that's being sent home to you, you'll see that I'll be looking for 1 or 2 pages of A3 printed out in colour, and it should show a timeline from about the 1800s, okay, turn of the century, bring it through more or less up to modern day, maybe 2010, 2020 maybe. And you can use for the basis of this timeline. I've given you a load of key facts that I want you to find out about and you to put them onto this timeline. And I've given you some key designers and their products, and this can fit into this timeline as well. Okay, and this is basically your first graphic product. This is a graphic representation of design throughout the century, and it should have some detailed information in there with the text, but it should also graphically work, and it should encourage people to actually look at this to find out what's been going on. You can look at the work of Dorling Kingsley books. They are very, very good at using graphics to represent information. And when you join me for your first lesson in September, I'm expecting you to walk in and give me this already printed out in A3 in colour, okay? And that in itself is part of the challenge. I don't expect anybody's probably got an A3 colour printer at home, but it shouldn't be beyond the scope of an A-level student to find somewhere out in the marketplace, okay, whether you go to Aldi supermarket, I think they do colour printing up to A2, or whether you go to the print shop in town. I would like you to walk in with your timeline already completed and in colour, okay? If you're going to print it out when you get to school in September, then again, just make sure you do it before you turn up to my lesson so that you can just hand it in, okay? So that's your first challenge, to create this timeline. Your second challenge is, ordinarily I would give you each a designer. So this is Charles René Mackintosh, and he produced a lot of furniture in the arts and crafts movement. And this is a designer profile, okay, of Charles René Mackintosh, his products, a bit of information about the products, about how they're manufactured, bit of information about art and crafts movement, and some diagrams kind of like showing, you know, the construction techniques used in his kind of like furniture. So you'll be able to pick your own designer off a list that's being given to you. I think my next slide shows you the list. Pick a designer, find out about their products, and produce for me this time just an A4 sheet in landscape with some key information and data. And you don't need to print this one out. I will need to see a copy of it, but you don't need to walk in with it already printed out, but you can if you wish. But I will want an electronic version of this piece of work so that I can compile everybody's work together, give it out to the whole class, and then hopefully we'll have something between 15 and 20 short profiles of different designers, different products, which will start to build up your design portfolio straight away. Okay, so everybody's going to do one of these individually, and I think here we are. So these are the key designers, these are the key products. Okay, you need to pick one of these. Okay, so Robin Day, do a research into the polypropylene chair and put together for me an A4 sheet of that information. Do all of this work on Google Slides. Okay, so your A3 sheet on Google Slides and your A4 sheet on Google Slides. We'll use Google Slides as the basis of our layout software so that you can work on it at home and in school. Right, I think, everybody, that's it. Okay, so I'll be really interested to see what you come back with in September. Have a lovely summer. Okay, stay safe. I know things are difficult at the moment, but hopefully things will be a bit more back to normal when we see you back in September. Okay, take care.